Here he is, your disability rep, Roy Rickstrew. Good to see you, Roy.
Good to see you, Tom.
Look, I love it. You put out a bunch of hats here, and what is it that the hats represent to you?
Well, Social Security classifies our previous work against a big book called the Dictionary of Occupational Titles. We've talked about that before.
We have.
Sometimes your job doesn't fit nicely into one classification within that Dictionary of Occupational Titles. Social Security calls that a composite job. So this is when folks wear multiple hats at work. So they do multiple aspects of different jobs, all rolled into one job. And can I talk a little bit about how Social Security addresses or handles that?
And more people are doing things like that right now.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And there's some really good examples of this that we see every day in our lives. And it is kind of a problem with Social Security. Unfortunately, it's something that's not well understood by the general public, and it can really make or break a case.
Oh, I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think so.
So when you get into a hearing situation, they'll bring in a vocational expert who will essentially classify both aspects of your job.
Okay.
So if you did two things, so let's pick on, for example, some of our discount retail stores.
All right.
And if we think about like a Dollar General, for example, those folks do a lot of stocking. Yeah, for sure. But then also, if you walk up to the cash register, guess who comes and checks you out?
Same person.
Same person, right? So they're stock clerks, but they're also cashiers. And so they're doing substantial aspects of two different jobs, all within the confines of one singular employment.
Okay.
And so what Social Security will do with that is they'll classify both jobs, a cashier and a stocker. They're going to look at whether or not you have the ability to go back to the heaviest parts of both jobs. So even though you may have been a cashier, you also had to stock the big bottles of bleach.
You're doing heavy work.
Right. And so if you've got a back condition, you have to be able to go and do the heavy parts of the stocking job in order to go back to that position. So that's the way Social Security kind of looks at composite jobs. They look at both jobs, and they say you got to be able to do the heavy aspects or the skilled aspects of both jobs. You have to be able to do all of both jobs for Social Security to send you back to that one job.
So it doesn't make any difference. The reason I can only do 2 hours of the heavy is because that's really all I can do. To me, they're going to still look at it and give weight to both sides of the equation.
They're going to look at both those jobs. So even though you may be able to stand at the cash register and it not impact your ability to lift, because you also had those lifting duties, we have to look at those as well. And so the reason why this makes or breaks so many cases is if Social Security says, oh, you were a cashier. Okay, well, you don't have the heavy lifting anymore. Right, you don't have the stooping, the kneeling, the balancing sometimes on ladders or step stools. Social Security may say, hey, you can go back to be a cashier, but it doesn't matter that you can't lift. But in reality, the job you did required the lifting too. And so they've got to look at both aspects, and it makes it a little easier for some people to qualify for benefits.
Oh, okay. It does make it easier.
It does, yeah. It can help to eliminate your previous work, which is a big deal in Social Security's world.
Okay.
So we see some other examples of this out in the world. There are folks that go out and measure for drapery or for blinds.
Sure.
And then they come back and install the blinds. And so they may be a salesperson, they may be a measuring person, they may be an installation person. A lot of construction trades find this. You have sheetrock done, someone comes out and bids the job. Well, that's a job in and of itself.
Right.
But then they come back and install the sheetrock too.
So that's the composite that you're talking about.
Exactly. So again, if you've got a hip issue, maybe going out and bidding jobs isn't a big deal. But if you got to climb up the scaffolding and hang sheetrock on the ceiling, all of a sudden it is.
Do they take into account what, for instance, you might be installing? I mean, it's one thing to install curtain rods. It's a different thing to install sheetrock.
Well, sure. So they look at the weight that's common to the job, and that's what they look at whether or not you can go back to. Yeah. And then there's another thing here too, and you'll get a kick out of this probably, but there's Pete Rose style managers. And I kind of chuckled when we put that slide in. A lot of us may remember that Pete Rose was a player and a manager for about 3 years in the 1980s, the mid-1980s. We're showing our age here, Tom.
Yes, yeah.
But there are managers out there that are working managers that do a lot of aspects of management type things, but they also do a lot of aspects of worker type things.
Oh.
And you think about like a lead chef in a restaurant. They may manage orders and manage supplies. They may be the brains behind the recipes, but they're also lugging stuff from the freezer too. So the way your job's classified can really make or break.
May not be chef then all of a sudden.
Right.
Okay. With so many more people having composite jobs, in the workplace right now, it does seem a little confusing. But if people want advice, people want maybe a little guidance, I mean, you're there for them. How do they do that?
Yeah, you can give us a ring here at the office, the 417-812-6698. The QR code is a scheduling app. You can snap it with your phone. It'll drop you into my calendar. We can set up a time. You can come and see me.
Right.
We want to be approachable, easy to get a hold of. My preference is give me a ring and we'll chat.
And when they call, they go to your desk.
Yeah. If I get somebody in my office, I can't answer, but otherwise I grab my own phone. I'm real proud of that.
All right, Roy, always good to talk to you.
Likewise, Tom.
So give them a call. Speak to your disability rep, Roy Rickstrew.